Hello everybody, Jack Fisher here, and welcome to my world. And it's a world that wouldn't exist without my dad. Now at the time of this recording, it's right around Father's Day, so in the spirit of this special day, I'd like to take a moment to give my dad the love and thanks he deserves. In addition, I'd also like to brag, because my dad is awesome. He really is, in so many ways, more ways that I can put into one video. My dad is just awesome. All my life, from early childhood to awkward teen years, he's found a way to guide me through it all, as only an awesome father can. And for that, I am eternally grateful. I also know that makes me lucky. Not everyone can say this about their parents. Not everyone can say this about their dad. I mean, I've known many people who have bad relationships with their father, and just bad relationships with their family in general. Some have no relationship at all, and that's tragic and heartbreaking. But it also helps me appreciate my dad even more. Now, there are a lot of things that make him great, but for the sake of being concise, I'll highlight one thing that stands out more than most, and that's his poise. Now, my dad is not the kind of guy to get overly animated. He always carries himself with a strong demeanor, like a guy who just hit a home run or aced his midterm. When others get anxious and uptight, my dad stays calm, cool, and collected. He'll still laugh, he'll still crack jokes, he'll still be funny, but he has a presence to him. One that makes you feel safe, appreciated, and respected. He rarely loses his cool. He's level-headed when others are not. He'll keep you anchored even when you don't want to be. You might not always appreciate it at the time, but you usually end up thanking him the next day, sometimes sooner. As a kid, he really was my first superhero, long before I read my first comic book. The way he stayed so strong and poised might as well have been a superpower, more so now than ever. And he maintained that poise while waking up at 5 a.m. every day and working his ass off for years. And no matter how hard he worked, he always had the energy to show his family love at the end of the day. I'd know how he did it all and still find time to come home and be an awesome cook. He still makes the best pasta on the East Coast, that much I'm sure of. To this day, he still astonishes me. But to really appreciate just how great my dad is, I want to share a quick story. And as it just so happens, it's one of the earliest memories I have, and it's a good one too. Now, I don't remember how old I was or what year this took place. I just remember it being a Sunday afternoon in our living room. I was just lofting about, playing with some toys while my dad was watching a football game. It being Sunday, that was very common. My dad would get a bowl of peanuts, a couple beers, and just relax the day away as only he could. Then, at one point in the game, this man, who was usually so calm and collected, shot up from the couch and cheered louder than I'd ever heard him cheer before. I don't remember what he cheered over, since he'll probably see this video at some point. I hope he remembers. But it must have been something good, because he looked like he just won a game show or something. I'd never seen him so elated to that point. To my young mind, it was shocking, but in a good way. It showed that, in the right situations, my dad could get as excited as anyone. It didn't happen often, but when it did, you knew it was special. It left quite an impression on me, and one that stuck with me for years after that. It reminded me that, as poised and cool as my dad can be, he's not afraid to express himself when there's something worth expressing. It's a lesson that I struggled to learn over the course of my youth. I still struggle with it as an adult, but that one's on me, not on my dad. He showed me from a young age to be mature, upstanding, and poised. You don't always appreciate it at the time, but you sure do later in life. Now, there are so many other stories that I could share about my dad that prove just how great he is. But this one will always be special to me, and not just because it's one of the first. It really helped set the tone for just how lucky I am to have a dad like him. It also helps me appreciate Father's Day even more. And to the rest of the awesome dads out there, I can't thank you enough. Your kids might not appreciate how great you are now, but trust me, it'll show in the long run. As the years go by, they'll come to appreciate it more and more. And one day Father's Day will have a much deeper meaning for them. So, to my wonderful dad, who I hope watches this at some point, thank you. I love you, man, and happy Father's Day. Thanks for watching, guys, and thanks for joining me in my world. Please like and subscribe.